Look how far we've come, my baby. We might have took the long way. We knew we'd get there someday. They said that I bet they'll never make it, but just look at us holding on. We're still together, still going strong. You're still the one I run to, the one that I belong to. You're still the one I want for life. You're still the one that I love, the only one I dream. Oh, you're still the one I kiss goodnight.
All right, guys. Good morning, everybody. If you can hear me all right, guys, give me a one in the chat. One in the chat if you can hear me all right. Good morning, guys. Awesome. Oh, we're going to go ahead and get started, guys. We got a heavy hitter today on today's call, guys. I hope you're ready to take notes. This is something I wouldn't want to miss. And, guys, this is something you can implement in your business and make a ton of money with, guys. Mortgage protection, if you're not utilizing it in your business right now, guys, this is the best call from the best person we could hear from today. So we're going to run through some slides real quick, guys, and then I'll go ahead and grab Rami on to run through some training, guys. But Life Center, Integrity Life Center, guys, if you are not utilizing it, guys, this is an amazing resource. It's awesome because I don't know about you, I'm horrible with saving passwords and like having logins for all my carriers. And I get frazzled real quick, especially, being a little newer to telesales. It's nice having everything with one login. And I think that's something, it's just real simple for all the agents and guys, new agents hopping on board. Enhanced underwriting, search for medical conditions and prescription medications to get properly underwriting results. And it's got a comprehensive mobile app. So if you are not using this, guys, make sure you message your manager, get set up, because, guys, it is a huge resource for everybody and to streamline everything. Guys, we've got our home office Zoom dials running literally Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Again, we have a lot of people that aren't utilizing the Zoom, guys. If you're making sales and your income comes from telesales, guys, which everybody should, make sure you're hopping on, hearing from people that are winning at the highest level. So Monday through Saturday, guys, home office Zoom. We got huge training, guys, huge lineup tomorrow. We have Dave Witchard, one of my favorites, guys, the fastest agent to 1 million, 2 million, and 3 million a month at FFL. His agency did it the quickest. So make sure you tune in tomorrow, 10 a.m. And then next Monday, guys, we have the 2024 Rookie of the Year, Tom Fascio. Guys, don't miss new people. There's so many new faces and new people coming out of the gate super hot. It's just nice hearing people that have been in business for a year and are writing 500, protecting 500 families in a year. So it's absolutely insane. So make sure you plug into the trainings tomorrow and Monday. All right, guys, bear with me 1 second. We'll go ahead and grab Rami Hamady on. Give me 1 second. Rami, how we doing, man? Can you hear me? Oop,
Hey, thank
okay.
you, guys. Doing great. How you doing, my friend?
I'm good, bro. Thanks for hopping on, man. First off, hey, man, I appreciate you taking your time. I know we've had you on our call before, and you ran through just some amazing training. And dude, what I love about you is you keep it so dang simple. And for me, that coming from the field as someone like you did, that was big because I think a lot of people we start hearing about all these different CRMs and all these, and we overcomplicate it, man, especially for newer agents coming on board. Can you just kind of explain, introduce yourself first and foremost? I think there's some people that probably haven't heard from you. And then two, man, what are you doing mortgage protection wise to protect over 2 million families so far?
Of course, guys. Thanks for having me on the call. Josh, appreciate you, Steven, all of you guys. Thank you for joining today. So, a little about myself, guys. I'm from Boston, Massachusetts. I grew up in Boston. I moved overseas briefly to Lebanon for a little bit. Came back when I was in my 20s. And now, guys, I was in the healthcare industry. So, I had no prior sales background, no insurance industry experience, no practice company over here. Just had no experience whatsoever. Now, you guys know Marisa Maggio. Me and Marisa are in a relationship together. I've known her for quite some time. So just how I got into the business, I was in the hospital working sometimes, and we can see all of us on social media. We see the numbers being posted, families help. That intrigued me. I was like, what does this mean? Like, what is all these numbers representing? Is it pay? Is it commission? And like, what is it? I had no idea. So over time, I started talking to Marisa. Now, again, I've known her for more than 15 plus years. We reconnected, we started dating again, and at this point, I'm still working in the hospital. And I started to ask her questions about the business, saying, okay, can you explain to me like what your job is? What do you do? And she started telling me I own my insurance agency. I help families through final expense, mortgage protection, and other types of avenues. At that point, guys, coming from a W-2 mindset and seeing all these numbers, you don't think it's legit, right? You think it's not true. And I'm telling you, from my loved one. So at this point in time, I was a little curious. I stayed back a bit. She never put any pressure, her or Christina. They always watched from afar. And so whenever you're ready, kind of dive in. And guys, I took the leap of faith. I said, hey, if I see everyone posting 10 families, 20 families back then, 30, 40, I can do it too. So I tried, guys. I hopped in part-time. So I would come back from the hospital, be 3 o'clock, 7 to 3. I would hop on the phones, dial from 3 p.m. till 7 and set the following day. Like Josh said, we were all in the field. I was running face-to-face, guys, only mortgage protection. That's all I've ran in the field. I did some final expense. The majority was my mortgage. And from then, guys, that's just how I kind of took off. Part-time started 18 families, 25 families, and it's just activity, guys. You'll soon see all I do, guys. I just put in the work. I just make the calls. I don't get down on myself. I would just keep my mindset refreshed just to make sure that I can continue through the sales. And at the end of the day, I came full time back in 2023, I think it was. And every year, guys, I've hit Hall of Fame in this business just because, again, I like to just focus on my schedule. I'm intentional behind it. And we'll talk about the income producing activities that we can do to kind of increase your sales. And with mortgage protection, guys, it's a family that needs the help. And to me, I love that because from the hospital, I can help you medically. I can make sure you have treatments, you have diagnoses, the whole nine. Whereas in this aspect, I help you financially. So to me, that really helped me transition into the business. So I know that was a little long-winded answer, but that's how I came into the FFL.
No, you're good, man. I love it. And it really, I guess, like, I think, Rami, there's a lot of people that were probably in your spot too, like part-time, needing to make the income to kind of transition to full-time. And what's awesome, there's not really a timeline that you have to do it within. It's just really like for like Rami, you did, you came out, protecting 18, 25, 30 families. Just make sure you scale that number, right? It's not getting comfortable doing part-time activity at FFL. Because for me, Rami, I'm sure it's same for you. I'm like, dude, I'm wasting my time now by being at this part-time job or my full-time gig,
100%.
right? Because if I can protect 30 families and I'm clearing 20 grand in deposits into my bank account, I need to go all in, right? I'm doing my family and the families I protected to service because again, I could be doing way more. So I love that mindset. And I think a lot of people are probably in the same boat right now, guys. So again, just do whatever you have to do and utilize your time that you're not working your W-2 job and go all in on that time. Because I think there's a lot of people that are full-time at FFL, Rami, that probably should be part-time, right?
I agree with that.
Because again, I feel like the part-timers that work a full-time job, dude, we don't have time to waste, right? Like we're taking time away from our families. We need to really make this income and make it work because that's what I love. People are serious. If they're working a full-time job, anytime they give to FFL, like, dude, I'm not going to BS. Like I need to go all in and make this thing work.
Exactly.
So let's dig into mortgage protection, bro. What I love about this, I'm just going to be transparent, guys. For me, and I'm sure a lot of people, I was so a different process. Like I was just like, dude, these people have money. I'm used to talking to people that are on Social Security and have
Yeah.
10 dogs and cats at their house. Like it's just a different process, right? So I drive up to a home, Rami, and I'd be like, dude, there's no way they need this. Like there's no way this $500,000 home needs mortgage. So can you kind of give me first before we dig into it, give me the mindset, bro? Because I think that's really the biggest thing is being confident in that these people need the service and that they requested it. So can you just talk about that?
Yeah, of course, guys. So whether it's mortgage protection, now we're focused on mortgage protection, but whether it's veteran final expense, basic final expense, IUL, annuity, mortgage, it's a family looking for help, guys. So that's the first thing I always put in my mind was that the lead is a family. It's not just a lead, it's a family. It's somebody that has, like Josh said, kids, they have a husband, a spouse, a wife, etc. They need to make sure that when that time comes, they're okay. And now they may not know what they actually need. They may not know even what that time's going to look like because they never had somebody that is brutal, that's on enough to ask them and say, hey, if you did die yesterday, what did that look for you today? So regarding the mindset, guys, when I'm calling the leads, I have a W-2 mindset, right? So which, like Josh said, they fill a paper out. So I work on the online Facebook more protection and I do as well direct mail. I'm gonna be very direct. I work primarily direct mail. So what that is, if you guys don't know what that means, it's a letter that comes in the house to somebody who either purchased the house recently, refinanced a few years back, or recent. They fill it out. It says on it, you have access to participate in low cost mortgage protection. They then will send it back in the mail, and I will get it on my email or via PDF. Now, when I get that form, guys, I'm acting just like I'm in an office, and I am in an office, by the way, but my mindset as if a W-2 office. Like I have a supervisor behind my neck, where if I'm not calling that form, I'm going to get fired. So the second it comes across my desk, I'm giving Josh a call. I'm saying, hey, Josh, this is Rami Hamady. Just calling you back about the mortgage on 123 Main Street with Rocket Mortgage. And the purpose of my call is you received a letter in the mail for mortgage protection, but then your date of birth is August 5, 91. Is that correct? He's going to say yes or no. It depends on the objection. But guys, most of the time with mortgage, they filled it out, right? Even with leads, that they filled it out. They say, yes, I did. Perfect. Purpose of my call is to explain these options you may qualify for. Just going to verify what you put down. If you guys can trick yourself to convince yourself that, hey, all I'm doing is reading requests that are coming across my desk, like as you're going through your Excel sheet, you're going to talk to the client with a stronger tonality. Your mindset all of a sudden is not going to be fidgety where they start to, to speak back to you. You're not going to stutter. You're saying, no, I'm calling you back about the request you made. What request? The letter you got in the mail. What was that letter about? It was about the mortgage protection. What's that? If you die or get sick, Josh, to make sure God forbid that day happens, your family's going to be okay. They can avoid foreclosure, have no probate potentially, and most importantly, have no outstanding debt. You put down your date of birth as August 5, 91, and I go back into my script. Now, in my mind as well, guys, I'm talking to a mortgage protection lead. On the appointment side, I do a lot of appointment setting. So I do not do one call closes, guys. I do all appointment. So for me, I don't want to touch too much on anything about what the policy is, what it's going to do. All I want is to collect information on basic discovery call. So introduce who I am, Rami Hamadi. What am I? I'm the underwriter. What am I calling about? The mortgage protection request you got in the mail or online. All right, why are you calling me about that? I've been assigned to your case. It's my job to explain these programs. Now, at this point, I'm going to ask some basic questions. Are you a smoker? Do you have any major health concerns? Are you married, working? Sorry, are you married, single, divorced, widowed? If married, re-ask the top two questions for husband and wife, smoking and major health concerns. Then I ask, are they retired, working, or disabled? Once they give me all of that, guys, now if they're retired, I have in my mind now I'm booking the appointment. It's all day, every day. They're retired. They're at home, unless they have something they need to do. If they're working, I'm not booking that appointment at 8, 9, 10 a.m. They're working. They just told me I'm a worker. I work 7 days a week, so 5 days a week, etc. I'm going to book for after work. But my last question is after the working status is when you filled the request, though, what was your biggest concern? Who are you looking to protect? That's the surface why. For everybody booking appointments and doing one call closes, in the first 30 seconds, if you're not asking, who are you looking to protect or what was your biggest concern, I'm not gonna say you're gonna lose, you're gonna have a much harder time building the need because they're not gonna remember why they filled it out. Especially on Facebook, guys, they're scrolling, they're not just typing in mortgage protection, they're scrolling through it and they come across the ad. Whereas when you get a direct mailer, the mindset is they're filling it out by hand, 1%, send it back in. That's my mindset. So I'm looking, all right, they're the 1%. Like they filled it out on purpose. So, all right, why'd you fill it out? They'll tell me. And I tie down the appointment. All that means, guys, is reiterating who I am and what my job is. So don't ever, guys, call a mortgage protection appointment or call a lead and just introduce yourself, go through everything, get their smoking, health concerns, working, married, and why they want to protect it, and just dead it there. You want to reiterate what you're calling about. Okay, again, my name is Rami Hamadi. I'm just the underwriter assigned to the file. My job is super simple. Just takes me 15, 20 minutes to explain the programs you qualify for. We do everything by appointment only virtually over the phone or via Zoom, whichever you guys like to pick. Then I do all of the phone. I say I only do it over telephone, guys. It'll take me 15, 20 minutes. What time are you and your spouse typically home together after work? They're gonna give me the timing. I book guys 48 hours out. So Tuesday, Wednesday, I call Monday for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for Friday, Saturday. A lot of you may think, wow, you don't call every day. I do call every day, but I'm not booking appointments every day. That can make sense. I call Monday for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I make sure I have enough leads to call them, right? I'm not going to have 20 leads that day. I stack my schedule. I make sure I have enough resources to make those phone calls. Just like Josh, all of us know on this call, guys, if I have 1,000 at bats and he has 10,000, who's going to have the chance of having more home runs? Josh is. He has 10,000 at bats. I only have 1,000. So, guys, put the numbers in your favor. But at that point, tie it down because they need to know who you are, guys. And you'd be surprised just saying those little tiny words. I'm just the underwriter. It's only going to take me 15, 20 minutes. I'm wrapping up in your county with a handful of homeowners over the next 2 days. What time are you guys home after work? Herd mentality. I'm wrapping in the area. I'm assigned to other homeowners. I'm not only calling you. It's not a desperation call. I'm actually trying to, get fulfill the request you sent in. And at that point, guys, I have them grab a pen and paper, right? They tell me the time. Let's say they say Thursday at 2 p.m. I'll put them down and then I'll say grab a pen and paper, my first name, last name, and my phone number. So that was kind of a lot regarding like the appointment slot, but that's my mindset for it, guys. Very W-2 mindset, doctor, patient. And I never let the client dictate my schedule. I dictate my schedule. So I'm going to basically tell you, hey, I have an opening on Tuesday at 4 or 5. What time is best? I'm not going to ask you, is it okay if I put you down for this time? Are you available then? No, I already asked you in the beginning, do you work? Then I asked you what time are you and your wife typically home after work? The second you tell me 5 p.m., 5:30, 6:15, 6:30, all these 15-minute intervals after that 5 p.m., that's their time. And all you guys have to do is just keep in mind, just to understand they may have 30-minute delay. You tell them, give me a 30-minute window on either side. That means if you're early, it's okay. If they're late, it's okay. You have a 30-minute window on either side. So if I'm calling you at 5 or 5:30, that's about right because our appointment set for 5, but you gave me that 30-minute window. And that will save you guys a lot of time where people are driving home from work and they start to answer and say, hey, I'm getting back home. So you know where they'll call you back in 30 minutes. And just keep that mindset, guys, when you're calling mortgage protection because they're, like Josh said, they're family, they have income, and they understand that if things hit the fan, it's not going to look pretty. And they really need to make sure that they understand that. And it all starts from tonality when you're making that initial point of contact. I'm the underwriter. It's just my job to explain these programs, make it very simple and straight to the point. With mortgage protection, guys, my personal experience, nobody wants to have a family and be sold from start to finish. They need to understand the product. They need to know what you're talking about. They have a discussion with their spouse. You need to have both of them there. Never one-legged appointment. You guys know what that means, right? The husband, no wife. They have to both be there because what if the husband tells you, "Hey, I got to talk to my wife about it." Now you're stuck in quicksand. But the best thing is if they're both together, you can say, "Hey, Mary, if Bob died yesterday, what are you doing today?" "Bob, you can't talk. You died yesterday." And let them start talking, guys. And I say that to every single appointment. You guys may think he doesn't say that. I do, because I know that at the point when I ask Mary, what does that look like? And Mary starts telling me how she can't pay the house, how she's scared to go through probate. Bob's not going to object me 30 minutes later and tell me, hey, I don't need this. Mary just told us in the very beginning she needed it. She told us why she wants it. Now it's got to see which policy or plan meets your family's needs and budget the best.
Bro, you hit on so much good stuff right there. And what I love, I can tell you've done it quite a bit because you're just smooth in everything you say. And guys, what I want you guys to realize, that's how it is after you've done so many reps. You're not going to be so polished. And guys, what you'll figure out too, people aren't really looking for that right off the bat. You know what I mean? They're looking for you to just know your stuff and show that you care, right? And when you start asking, like I always say, like emotion creates motion, right? And I think that's where a lot of people leave out, Rami. We are fact tellers, and guys, facts sell. Like we got to dig into it a little bit. Like Rami, what does that look like for Marisa? If you're not here, what does that look like for her financially? Is she going to be able to stay in the home financially? If she loses your income, what does that look like for her on a month-to-month basis? Guys, we got to dig into that stuff. And Rami, I love that you do that. Now, tell me the mindset behind only booking appointments, not doing any one call closes. Is that just kind of to stay on schedule so you don't get away from booking? Yeah, kind of explain the mindset on that.
Yeah, so it's my personal experience. I'm a trial and error type of guy. I'm a sample size. So I'll do, I'll sample size one call closing. I'll compare it to appointment setting. I'll see what brings the best results. And for me, appointment setting, guys, why, in my mind, for mortgage protection particularly, why is it important? The basic target audience that has a mortgage is working. They're actively working. Now, there are three shifts in a day, right? There's a morning, afternoon, and the graveyard shift or a nighttime shift, depending how you look at it. So in my mind, I look at it, all right, if I'm calling in the morning between the hours of 8 to 2, and I'm taking my break from 3 to 4, I'll hop back on the phones 4 to 8. When I'm calling these people, the hours I'm calling in, they're working most of the time. They're in the morning. So if I start calling people and they start answering on the way to work, getting ready for work, I don't have their undivided attention. With or any lead type in general, you need the client's undivided attention so they're able to actually listen to you and understand you. Regarding mortgage protection, guys, if you're calling someone as they're driving, they're not going to be able to write things down. They're not going to listen to you. They're not going to understand what probate is. They're not going to remember it. Most importantly, what Josh has said, the income replacement, right? The discrepancies. That needs to be said during, how do I put it, in a controlled setting. Now, one call close is not a controlled setting, guys. You have no idea what they're doing during that phone call. They could be in the store, they could be driving, they could be off. Now, if they're retired, guys, I understand, some people are home. But for me, I saw that setting appointments, like Josh said, A, kept me on schedule. B, it made sure I was intentional with my timing, where I can grow my business. And I understood that this is dedicated for income producing activities, which is dialing and going to see my appointments. But my biggest tip, guys, though, is nobody wants to be sold start to finish. I think of myself. If I get someone right now that calls me on the phone and they try to sell me based on my mortgage and they want to tell me that, hey, you sent this letter in. It'll take me 15 minutes. Now I'm on the phone for 45 minutes with you, wasting my day and my time. I'm going to get frustrated. I'm going to get upset. And I saw that, guys. Clients started getting upset and frustrated. What I realized, dial it down to make it appointments because A, when we go to the doctor, guys, the only time we're going into the ER is a walk-in appointment, right? For an emergency. Most of the time we're calling and setting up an appointment. Doctor-patient mindset. If we're going to have that for the sales process, why not have that same mindset for the booking process? The same thing goes for all of us who are booking any appointment for massage or I'm being serious, guys. Anything we're doing, we typically book an appointment to do so. There's very on the whim or be spontaneous. Depends on which side you're looking at. The client doesn't want to be impulsive making a decision. They don't want to have a spontaneous phone call about, hey, this is why your family's screwed when you effing die because all the bills are going to come crashing down. That's not going to hit home. Instead, they're going to say, hey, give me a quote. How much does it cost? And that's it. You're going to move on to the next. Now, well, I always say though, if you guys are one call closing and it's working, don't change what's not broken. And I really mean that, right? For me, appointments work all day. For you guys, one call close may work. It just all depends on what's working for you. But I highly encourage you, if you're one call closing and not getting the results, just try booking appointments for the next 2 days. Try doing it every 24 hours out or even that same evening. Say, hey, what time are you guys home this evening? Set the appointment, get them down because now my mindset for the sales is they're ready. Like they're understanding I'm calling. So when I do call them, there's no surprises. They're sitting at home, kitchen table, just like in the field. I took my face-to-face presentation, I put it on the phone. I changed nothing. All I did was replicate the field to the phone, just like most of us did. And guys, that's what I saw why appointments was most successful. Because again, you just don't want to start to finish that fast. You want them to understand. And people they respect it and they're working as well, guys. That's the biggest thing I saw, work hours. I don't want to call someone while they're busy. My biggest pet peeve in this business is getting down to the pitch and them telling me I don't have time to do the app. I hate that. It's like I don't want to get that. I'd rather you tell me like in the beginning, I don't have time right now. I'll put you down my calendar. And if you guys are saying, well, I don't have enough appointments. I'm only getting 2 or 3 people on the phone per hour. You don't have enough leads. Go buy a couple of age packs, guys. Go on the ILC. We have tons of resources, guys. If you stack your deck in front of you and you continue to call, you're gonna have a full day of appointments. I promise that. Now, will they all show up? Maybe, maybe not. But the thing is, you're putting in the work day in, day out. You're gonna have a compounding effect, just like in telesales.
Dude, again, I think the biggest thing, Rami, that is going from working strictly like veteran final expense or self-generated Facebook leads, it's the mindset's different, right? Like guys, these are
Big time.
professionals. Like these are people that are working full-time jobs, they've got a mortgage. And guys, think about it yourself. If you got something in the mail and you took the time to call in on it or handwrite something and send it back, like guys, the intent is different, right? So I think when we get them on the phone and we're thinking we got to close it, we got them on the phone, we're already thinking in like a scarcity mindset. Like guys, the intent's there. These people want it. They definitely want the information. I love that, Rami, because I didn't really think about that, bro. Like you're so right. Like if I'm going anywhere, like a doctor's appointment, they never just say, "Oh, come on in right now." Like it's never like that, right? It's always like, "Hey, we got something out, maybe in the next couple days or next week." Then it's like, dude, I'm not going to miss that appointment because I already know how hard it is to get in. It's
Exactly.
the mindset with mortgage protection. Like, when we treat it like doctor patient mindset, like guys, that's so big. It's just carrying that posture. And that's something that's created over time. And Rami, I can tell you've done it, the reps to get there. Can we kind of go back before we kind of get into presentation and how we present and all that good stuff? Tell me, like, how much premium are you writing per month off of mortgage, just mortgage alone?
Probably I'd say around 50,000 a month, I'd say, just off mortgage.
Okay. And then what do you think you spend on mortgage leads every
On
month?
leads,
Just
I know
more.
what I spend. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm an open book, guys. I don't mind. 9,800 right now. It was 12,200. Just got lowered down to 9,800 because I'm buying some vet leads involved. I'm mixing and matching a little bit of vet, but 10K a month, let's call it.
Now, is
Round it
that
up.
total ad spend or just mortgage?
That's just mortgage. 10K a
Okay.
month just from direct mail drops, correct.
Okay, got it. So guys, he's 5xing his mortgage production, which is insane. And I love that. That's real numbers. Guys, what do you think someone would need to do just to kind of get into mortgage? Like Rami, because like again, I think a lot of people they'll do one drop and then they're like, dude, this sucks. Like I'm not seeing the results yet. What do I do? Like how much is each drop that you're doing?
So I drop right now, guys, anywhere between 1,200 pieces to 2,000 pieces a week. It depends all on like, the type of lead. Retro is basically the old data or new data, right? There's not many houses, guys, that are purchased every single week. So it all depends on the new data. So I'm spending between, I'd say, yeah, that 1,200 to 2,000 pieces. And what I've noticed a lot, what about direct mail for me, guys, and I'll be very direct with mortgage. I'll Now, when I say this, I'm not saying this to brag. I'm just telling you so you guys can understand the different work levels of working a mortgage lead compared to working a final expense volume lead. I probably have guys per day, I'd say six, seven appointments, maybe. I can now trust me, if I sat there and I grinded, I can get them to 10, 15. I have six, seven a day, guys. I'm probably dialing on average every Monday and Thursday for about 3 hours a day from like 8 to 11, 8 to 12. Now I'm still calling after for my vet leads, but for the mortgage, because they're not higher quality, but higher intent per se, because A, they're getting a paper in the mail. 1% guys send it back in. So if 1,200 people, 1% on average is going to return that. Now, what that means is A, the people who are booking appointments, they know they need it. Like, they know they want it. The letter they get in the mail, I wish I had it near me. It says everything, guys, on it. Disability, unemployment, sickness, critical, chronic, terminal, money back option. It explains like what the policy does and without them even talking to me. So when I get them on the phone, guys, like I said, my appointments are between six, seven a day. Closing on average between 60 to 70K a month, 60, 70 families a month. And my hours that I'm working, if you break it down, it's well surpassing my time on investment. So what I would tell you guys is for mortgage, it's not just about how do I put it, spending money. It's about working smarter, not harder. Now I can easily go and take half the lead spend, half my lead spend, go in digital, but now I'm dialing much longer hours a day because digital, guys, in my mind, this is just Rami's opinion, by the way, this is not fact. You got and online, you have to turn curiosity into intent, right? Like I said, they're scrolling through Facebook, scrolling through Instagram. They didn't type on their phone, I want mortgage protection. They didn't get it, but they didn't just buy a house. They got a letter in the mail that came a week later. They went online, they just happened to come across the ad. They filled it out. Now they are curious. They want to know what this is. They say, hey, this might help my family. It's up to us to change that into intentionality, to make them think why I need it, purchase it, etc. When you have a direct mail or any mailer in general, that intent's already there. All you have to do is make sure that you're, like Josh is saying, make it simple, make it affordable, and make it make sense. And when you do that, guys, you'll have much better dialing days. Because like I said, guys, I have days where I can take off, I can take care of my family, we usually can go out. It all depends, just all about, what do you want from the business. Now, of course, guys, I'm scaling the business, I'm working, so my time from personal production now to building a team. But I would definitely recommend guys getting into mortgage. So you have some appointments where you're dialing, let's say, all day, and then you come across a 6 o'clock appointment for the mortgage and they buy it. That gives it momentum. Now, if falls closes the next day. Now you have two appointments in the morning. Then boom, you make some more sales. Some vet leads they sell as well, and then now some no show you. It's a revolving cycle. It's going to give you that oomph, that it's going to give you that energy I call it, or the big mo. It's going to get you moving forward. So I definitely recommend to incorporate mortgage protection into your lead flow. So you have those that we call, ones that fell in between the cracks. Because I'm not telling all of you guys, hey, go spend 10K a month on leads. Hop in the ILC, buy some silver gold mailers, see how they work. You're gonna get people where they got my mailer in the mail. I just can never get them on the phone. Never can contact them. Now they went into the system. Now that they revolve back in. No one's called them for a year. You guys call them like, yeah, I put this request in last year. What happened? And all you have to do, guys, is just call them, send your ID, and it's a lay down sale. And I mean that because they know what they need. And by that point in time, for age mortgage, why I love it, if I've been living in my house, I've been paying bills, I've knocked down my mortgage, I have equity, renovations, I now have college tuition. If I have children, I have more responsibilities. Why would I want this big, heavy burden to cloud my future? They now know that this cloud can go away the second we open the umbrella, which would be obviously, the mortgage protection. So I know that was a long-winded answer, but I spent a lot on my leads with direct mail to make sure I'm more efficient in my time, to work smarter, not harder. And now I can take more time focusing on my agents who don't have the ability to spend 10K a month, where they are doing the $500 to $1,000 a week for vet leads. And I'm still grinding vet leads out, guys, too. Don't get me wrong. Like today, I had 4 appointments in the morning. They all no-showed me. It happens. But at the end of the day, I still have my mortgage appointments tonight that I know when I call them, they're going to bring me some, fruit to my labor, per se.
Guys, all this is straight gold. Please, I hope you're taking notes on this. This is literally money for your business. I want to ask everybody, how many people are looking to actually grow an agency, bring agents on, put me in the chat. Like we want to actually build this thing. We don't want to just be personal producers forever, right? I'm sure everybody wants to build. Guys, the way, and I'll just speak for myself and Rami, I'm sure you could agree, mortgage protection allowed me to do that, right? One, you're buying your time back because guys, these premiums are bigger. Most people have money, they're healthier, and guys, you're getting a lot more drafts on the spot. Like when they get approved, they're going to draft on the spot, which is great. Which means, guys, we're getting paid faster. We're getting paid. I was running. I don't know about you yet, Rami. I was running pretty much all America was all my business. That
Oh,
was
yeah, dude.
so it's like,
Same.
guys, one, we're going to get the 10% you first bonus that can throw back into our business and help us grow. And then, guys, if Rami's running 6 to 7 mortgage protection appointments a day, Rami, what do you think you close off of that on an average basis?
Around 10. I say, yeah, 8, 10K. Definitely. Between 8, 10K. Yeah,
No big deal.
definitely.
So guys, what that does though is we're just getting more money in like fluxed into our business, which in turn just helps us. We're not working, because I know there's people dialing 300 to 500 dials a day, and we're just kind of back at zero every day, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? Like we can make money doing everything we can, but it's just nice to being able to have like, hey, I have 15 appointments on the books for the next 2 days. If I sit with half and close half, like guys, that's going to be my 5 to 10 grand on my run days. So it's easier to have money coming in and reinvesting higher into my business when I'm not chasing, more final expense all day, every day. And I don't say it as like a knock or a bad thing, but it's just more of like I have structure within my business. And Rami, that's what I love that you did. So going back to it, bro, you're spending, 10 grand a month on leads. Again, guys, this isn't forever. He's depositing 50 grand or he's off of mortgage alone, writing 70 grand a month. Like, guys, you can see how it's easy to pour back 10, 15 grand into his business to grow and get more agents going fast. And if he's doing that, guys, more agents are going to be more confident to run more mortgage protection as well. So it gets the agent writing 15 grand. Now we can get them up to 30, 40 grand just by implementing mortgage protection into their business, which is huge. So, bro, you're doing your drops, you're getting your 1 to 2% return, you're booking your appointments, no one call closes, which I really like, by the way. Kind of give us, guys, and I'll get back to the questions too. I'm not going to ignore those. Give me your sales process. Like we got, if it's just me, there's no one
Okay.
else at home, Rami. I'm 35. I'm a new lead. I got a bunch of mail, and you called me. I booked the appointment, and we're going into the appointment.
Sounds good. I'll do a quick little role play with you. All right, Josh. Hey, this is Rami Hamady. How are you doing today? Calling for the mortgage protection appointment.
Good, man. Yeah. How are you?
Doing great. Thanks for asking. Josh, do me a favor. Go and grab a pen and paper. I'm gonna have you write down pieces about myself real quick. And
Awesome,
you
man.
guys find paper? Perfect. I'll write my first name, Rami, Rami, and my last name, Hamady, Hamady. Now I want you to write down the letters NPN. That will stand for National Producer Number. Think of that as a business social. That just connects me to the Department of Insurance. It's how you understand you're talking to a licensed and active underwriter. That number is 199 63802. I'd have him read it back to me. He would. Boom. I say, okay, perfect. Now, Josh, does your phone receive text messages?
Yeah.
Perfect. I'm gonna send you a quick picture. It's gonna have my driver's license on it. It's gonna have my state of California insurance license, and it's going to have on it the top rated insurance companies available to you in the state. Okay?
Awesome.
Thank guys, what I'm saying, I'm sending my actual like driver's license, no joke, like it's right there, my driver's license. Then I'm sending over my state insurance license and the financial inventory, but not the part with all the questions, just the carrier sheet, whereas all the companies on it. Because I want him to know first that hey, I'm legit, I'm licensed. Here's my ID because they can look me up online. I don't care. Like, you know, I'm not scared of anyone coming to my house. I really mean this, guys. Don't be scared of any type of fear, limiting belief. Ain't gonna happen. My whole bit, and I'm very, direct on the phone. And in the face to face, I've had never one issue with anybody. So I get my driver's license for credibility, my NPN so they know who I am. I send my state license because I'm a non-resident. I'm in Mass, guys. I work in every state. So you can imagine they question that, like, why is your driver's license from Mass? Then I send my state license so he has it and the companies. Why do I send the companies? Because they see Mutual, they see Gerber, they see SPLI Prosperity. They see all these companies, Transamerica that they recognize, John Hancock. So now I can say, all right, Josh, so do you see that license real quick and all that paper?
Yeah, yeah, I got it. I can
Per
see it.
Perfect. Now, first and foremost, before I continue, do you want to verify me on the Department of Insurance website? I can walk you through that process because we are going to talk about sensitive information such as finances, health, and social security numbers. Now, if you want to look me up, we can go ahead and do that. If not, I'll go ahead and continue.
Yeah, man. No, I appreciate you sending that over. I think we're good.
Perfect. And we said yes, guys. Very easy. Google, just go on Google, type in California life insurance license lookup, Massachusetts life insurance license lookup, whatever the state is, life insurance license lookup. You can find it outside of Starcon websites, but you can find most of them and they can walk them through it. But now it's okay, Josh. So all that license means I'm what they're referred to as a field underwriter or a broker. And what that means is I do the shopping around for you. Think of me like the eyes and ears to the insurance companies. What that means is I work hand in hand with 85 top A-rated companies. Now, I'm not biased or partial to one company. I'm biased and partial to you. In order for me to figure out a program that's going to meet your needs and budget to protect the mortgage, I'm going to talk to you about three main factors. The first factor I'm going to talk about is the mortgage itself, seeing how it's structured and how it's set up. The secondary factor I'm going to talk about is life insurance, finances, things you may have in place already. As first and foremost, you may not need as much insurance as you think you do. I'll be the first person to tell you that because Josh, 90% of the families that I speak with, they want their full mortgage covered. I'm not betting on you dying anytime soon, Josh. You're 33, you're a young man. You're going to continue paying on the mortgage every single year. It's going to get less and less and less. So you may not need the full thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Perfect. Now talk about your health. Not to be invasive by any means. I just want to make sure any application that we look to submit today, I get you approved for the program and not decline for the coverage. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Perfect. Your job today, just to help me help you. With that being said, you have a budget. I have a budget. My neighbor does. I'm sure yours does as well. Let's make sure any application we put in place today meets your needs and budget, most importantly for you and your family.
Yeah, man.
All right.
That's good.
Awesome. Now, lastly, it will take 1 to 5 days to begin. It's not like going to the grocery store like a loaf of bread and buying it. You have to get qualified for this. So my job as the underwriter is to find a program that meets your needs and budget. Assuming we find that program, we are going to send that to the insurance carriers. At that point in time, I'll go through final underwriting or senior review. All they're going to do, Josh, is fact check the application to make sure you're in good standing. As long as everything you told me is truthful and everything is in effect, your policy will be drafted, you get it in the mail, and your house is protected. Are you ready to begin?
Yeah, yeah, let's do it, man.
Perfect. Now that's my role and purpose, guys. So that you should be every constant for every family because I say that the same way for every single appointment, even veteran leads. All I say is I'm just calling about your veteran life insurance to see if the private sector is the better suited option for your life insurance needs, and everything else following is the same. I still say the mortgage rent part, the whole nine. But again, make sure you guys have a role and purpose. It sets the table. But now I'll go into the inventory. And if you guys don't have an inventory, this is what it is. So you guys should have, wait, there you go. You guys know what this is, right? Yeah, the
Yep.
financial inventory. So I use this, guys, for every single appointment. And as you can see, it's all filled out. So basically, what I'll do is I'll say, all right, Josh, do you mortgage or do you, how much is your outstanding balance on the mortgage?
Real quick, Rami, I want to touch. I think some people missed it because I would
Sure.
have. I think it was huge is that 90% of people, how'd you say that? 90% of people think,
Oh
oh,
yeah, nine. So I'll talk about your finances to see. We'll talk about life insurance, finances, and things you have in place already. As you may not need as much insurance as you think you do, because 99% of the people I speak with, or homeowners I speak with, they think they need their full mortgage covered. But the truth is, every single year you make your payment. Is that a fair statement? We always say yes. Your mortgage is going to take less every single year. It's my job to determine how much insurance you truly need. I'll be the first person to tell you that. Does that make sense?
guys, sales pressure. If he's
Exactly.
not, if he's not trying to oversell me a bunch of insurance, and then guys, he's saving himself an objection later on when I'm like, dude, I need to cover the whole thing. He's already telling me I don't need to cover the whole thing, right? One, it's going to help my budget, and two, it's already giving me the notion that I don't need to cover the whole mortgage. Gold, Rami. I haven't heard people do that, and I think that's everybody should throw that in if we're doing mortgage.
100% guys, and don't be afraid to say, look, I'm not here to make you insurance poor. I'm here to make sure that whatever you put in place is to make sure if you pass away, your house can avoid foreclosure. And just guys, be very blunt to the client, be direct, and be straight to the point. And then what I do is then I go into the inventory, guys, and I don't have a script for mortgage at all. Everyone asks me, can you send me a script? Do you have one? I just voice memo this, so that's all I do. But all right, so I start at the top where it says, all right, Josh. Now before I go into this part. There's one question I didn't ask, Josh. I would say now, Josh, most importantly, when you made this request, again, what was the biggest concern? Who are you looking to protect?
For me, my wife, she doesn't work. We're new homeowners, and I think just reading it makes sense. But at the same time, I really don't have any idea what mortgage protection is.
Okay, so like, all right, you're like most homeowners. You just want to make sure, God forbid, you became sick, disabled, or passed away, that your wife will not go through any hardship and that she'll always be okay in the property.
Right, right.
Okay, that makes sense. It's like most homeowners. All right, Josh. Do you now? How much is your outstanding balance on the mortgage today?
So I think I owe like 350 is what I
No, 350. It's a 15 year or a 30-year mortgage?
30 year.
30 year. And what was the interest rate you obtained?
I think it was like a 6.5.
6.5. Okay. And now, how many years do you have remaining on the 30 year? Is it brand new? You just recently purchased or last refinanced?
Yeah, actually, we actually just got it, man. Just got in.
Congrats. Awesome, man. And what's the house worth today? I know you said 350 is on the loan, but what do you owe at this point in time?
I think we put 20% down, so whatever. I think we got it. It's worth probably 400.
400. Great. So you have right now 50K of equity in your property. I congratulate you on that, Mr. Crenshaw, because you work very hard for that. That's your down payment, it's your equity renovation you do to the property. You always want to protect that equity, all right? The bank always try telling you down the line to refinance and maybe pull money from that. Just avoid doing that. That can act as a lien on the property, basically like a tax lien. But I'm really happy to see you have that equity there. Now, what's your monthly payment today, including your tax, principal, and escrow?
I think it's right around 2,600, 2,800 in between there.
26, 28.
Yeah, I think I just paid one payment. So
No worries. Estimates are okay. And do you guys plan to pay extra, you and the wife, to knock down the mortgage any early?
no, I don't think so, man. Not now.
Okay. And now, Josh, I'm very blunt. I'm just gonna be very direct with you today, sir. Do you mind if I'm brutally honest during the whole conversation?
Yeah, yeah, I don't see why not.
Perfect. I'm a straight shooter, Josh. Now, did the bank take the time to explain to you, God forbid you or the spouse passed away, what that actually looks like for you and your family regarding the mortgage?
No, I have no idea. I think I had some sort of insurance included on the loan, but yeah, I outside of that, man, they didn't tell me anything.
So did you put down 20% or less? I assume you put down a little bit less than 20% on the payment of your down payment?
I did put 20% down. Yeah.
Okay, because what I was gonna do there, if you said the insurance, typically when they say insurance, guys, they're referring to PMI. And I would just say, all right, well, that insurance you're talking about is either homeowners or PMI insurance. Now, Josh, do you know the three types of mortgage protection policies a family has when they first buy a home?
I don't. I don't.
So the first type is homeowner insurance, guys. That protects fire, flood, tornado. It's mandated by the state. We all have to have it. The second type is called PMI insurance. Now that's private mortgage insurance. It's to make sure if you're unable to pay 18 or 20% down payment, the bank is going to make you pay an insurance policy that pays the lender. It's not going to go to you. It's not going to go to your family beneficiary. It goes back to the bank It's because your debt to income ratio isn't sufficient enough to maintain that mortgage. Now, once you meet 18, 20% equity value, valuation, appraisal value, however you guys want to phrase it, I say 80% equity in the property, they're going to waive it. What we're talking about today is called the mortgage protection. This policy is designed to make sure if you become sick, disabled, or passed away, that it can cover the mortgage payments and pay off the mortgage. That's what we're talking about today. So when he mentioned insurance, I explained the difference, and now he said no. He said I don't know what that looks like if I die. I say, Josh, are you Alondra co-borrowing the property today, or are you an independent borrower?
We're co-borrower. Coach, we're both on the title.
Both on the title, but on the loan itself, or just the deed, or both loan and deed.
Loan and deed. We're on both.
All right, perfect. And guys, it's key to know that because if you're just on the deed, not on the loan, that's big news to the bank because the bank holds first say on a deed when someone dies, even with the transfer of deed. The bank owns first right. So I would say to Josh, all right, Josh, because you're co-borrowing and then your wife's co-borrower, think of it like your house is the table and you guys are both legs on the table, right? Now, if one of you is to, God forbid, become sick or most importantly, pass away, first and foremost, one leg goes away. Now the table becomes rocky. Now the bank, they gave you a 30-year mortgage at a $2,600 mortgage payment based on your income, your wife's income, her credit, your credit, your history of financing, her history of financing. Most importantly, she makes an income, so do you. So let's say you make 5,000, Josh, and your wife makes 5,000, that's 10,000 together. If anything happens to either one of you, your 10,000 goes down to 5,000. Now the bank, they know that. They see your statements and they understand how much money you make. So first and foremost, because you just lost a co-borrower, you're losing income provided to the house. So now the bank thinks that you may not be sufficient to maintain this 30-year mortgage because they need both of you. But now most important, the bank can probate your will. They can probate the contract because the co-borrower died. What they're going to do is they're going to now make your spouse pay the $350,000 loan amount if she can out of pocket. If not, she has to maintain those payments to the T. If she defaults once, the house will enter foreclosure. But most importantly, what's going to happen is because she's going to lose your income, the bank's going to try to make her refinance as an independent borrower. When they try to refinance, she's going to be deemed ineligible. At that point in time now, the bank will contest the property. They're going to take her to court and they're going to say, we want to seize the equity. Now, Josh, let me be very direct. What do you have in place today to make sure if you died yesterday, 'cause I don't want to talk anything into your future, what's going to come into first and foremost, replace the income that you provide to your family? What's going to bury you? How will your wife maintain the next 30 years of your life? And how are you going to avoid probate and avoid foreclosure?
Yeah, I think I've got like 15, 20 grand in a 401k. I've got, a small nest egg in savings. We did buy the home, so that was most of it. And then I think I've something small through work. I don't really, I know it's life insurance, but I don't really know like all the details about it. But that's really all I have, man. So it's like, I guess that's really probably why I filled out the form because I know, yeah, man, my wife would be in a bad spot, and I
That
just,
makes sense. Okay. All right. So it'd be a financial hardship to say the least. Now, would you try to keep the house or try selling the house?
we haven't really talked about it. I would love for her to be able to stay here. God forbid, something happened to me. But at the same time, really haven't talked about it much.
Makes sense. And being that young, I think you guys would probably want to keep there as well, having kids, raising a family. I understand how that could be, having to relocate and kind of uproot the family. I know how that can be tough. So you're like most homeowners, you want to avoid that situation completely because the last thing you want, again, is leaving your wife with that burden, having your kid to uproot school districts, switch jobs and working extra jobs just to make ends meet. But now you told me at 15, 20K in a 401k. That's great. Please keep in mind though, based off your age, you can't touch that until age 60, 59 and a half. You're going to take a tax penalty on that. But most importantly, a 401k, IRA, guys, outside of Roth, stock, bonds, mutual funds, CDs, significant savings have a potential to go through probate because your employer owns a 401k. It's stock, bonds, or REITs that they own and they match you. Now, regarding your insurance at work, that's great. I'm a huge advocate for insurance. Now, my biggest concern for you, Josh, I want you to know that most homeowners have something private and independent because if you become sick, reduce your hours less than 35. become 35 hours a week, get laid off, and most importantly, when you hit that age of retirement, your work insurance will not follow you. It's going to stop. So I do see why you made the request because you have nothing private and independent in place to make sure if you became sick or you pass away when you're retired, that the mortgage will be taken care of. Because you have a 30-year mortgage, you're in your 30s. I don't think you want to work to age 70. So, we gotta make sure that if anything happens to you, the next 15 years would be okay. Because Josh, and I say this, guys, the first 15 years of your mortgage, it's highest at risk. And the reason for that is because it's all tax and interest. Now, after 15 years, it's going to be more primary principal. Now, you're young, you're in your 30s. So, God forbid, if you become sick, you're losing income, right? If I get sick and I can't work, I'm making less money, right? Now, if I'm making less money, I can't pay my bills on time. If I pay my bills on time, I can't pay the mortgage, right? So, the first 15 years right now, to me, is a very big concern because if anything happens sooner than later, your child needs college tuition. The mortgage got 29, 30 years left remaining, and there's a heavy burden removing your income the next 50 years because, man, you're going to be here hopefully to the 80s, 90s, hopefully the hundreds. And we always got to keep in mind that we're making money today. If we make 100K a year in 10 years, that's $1 million of income we need to replace. So I see why you need this insurance. Now, Josh, you have a will to assist you through probate to make sure that if anything happens to you, your wife and kids can take your assets, do a transfer.
No, man, I know I've been meaning to set one up, but I don't have anything like that in place.
No worries. What we'll do is this. The second you're able to get qualified, I'm going to help you through free estate planning, through legacy safeguards, what we call it. It's free estate planning, help through every state regulated. It's going to make sure you're able to make a will. You're going to have resources that you can contact through survivorship, just to make sure when that time comes, you're going to be okay. But once you qualify, I'm able to send that over to you because you have to participate in one of these programs to have that estate planning. Now, Josh, you told me that, all right, no life insurance outside of work. Your beneficiary is going to be your spouse, Alondra. Now, I assume the contingent will be your children as well.
Yes, yep,
Perfect. And how many kids do you have?
just one,
One. Awesome. How old?
2 years old.
Oh, that's great. It's awesome. It's a great year, man. You getting some sleep or not yet?
Not yet, not yet.
Not yet. All right. And okay, Josh, you're a pretty direct case. Now let's just get into the health portion and income to see if what you're suitable for, and we'll see what you qualify for. Now, what's your occupation at this point in time?
I'm a truck driver.
Truck driver. Awesome. Do you long haul or short haul?
I'm local, so yeah, I work. I'm at
Local
home.
drive.
Yeah.
Got it. Perfect. And what does Alondra do for work? Is she a homemaker or is she currently working?
No, she stays home. Thank God.
Homemaker.
That's
Yeah,
good. Yep.
I understand that, man. All right. So you're the major income earner. Okay. Now, Josh, tell me what's your monthly income after taxes? Everything included, rental properties, active work income, any maybe inheritance you may have on the side, all your income together.
Yeah, I take home about 6,000 a month, roughly.
6K. All right. So you make six, she make zero. The mortgage is 2,600. All right. So I understand. If anything happens to you, she's negative 2,600 in the hole right now. Not even talking about bills or raising a child. So I definitely see why I made this request. And guys, I know I'm being redundant. I do this. Trust me, I'm very effing redundant. You want to drill it in to make sure they know. If they want, I like them to get bothered by it per se, because at that point, I got to get to the quotes. But I like to make it very known that, hey, you need it. No, medications is going to determine the qualification. I can't guarantee anything. But what medications you currently get prescribed? Can you go and grab all the bottles you currently take?
Yeah, I had a surgery a couple of years ago. They prescribed me just pain meds for that, and then outside of that, man, I'm pretty healthy, thank God. But yeah,
Okay. Awesome. Not good, man. Happy to hear that. And that surgery, Josh, that was not for any heart attack, stroke, nothing like that. No bypass surgery. What was the
no,
surgery?
none of that. Thank God.
Perfect. Awesome. Now I'm gonna read this out loud to you as they make me. It's just my job. Only stop me. There's a yes. Heart attack, stroke, cancer, TIA, stent, diabetes, neuropathy, hypertension, rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, asthma, or COPD, thyroid, anxiety, depression, kidney or liver disease. All knows, I assume, right?
Oh no, yeah, I got a little high cholesterol. I don't take any meds for it, but yeah, that's it, man.
Okay, perfect. Now, guys, for the sake of the call, I'm not going to do my whole. I typically at this point ask a lot of health questions. I'm the one that says who one that asks the most questions wins. So it's like a 21 question game. Now at this point, I'd ask him, do you go to the doctor every year, by 6 months, 12 months, 24 months? Have you been to the ER in the past 6 months, 24 months, or 12 to 24 months? Any hospitalizations that's more than 2 days in the past 6, 12, 24? So I use the 6, 12, 24 method. Every question I ask. I asked in the past 6 months, past 12 months, past 24 months. And all those major health conditions you heard me ask, I say, have you ever? Because those, as we have to know, are they ever questions. The other stuff I just need to know in the past few years. And then I'll start to ask medications. He says nothing. I would ask more about the surgery, just get the doctor's name. I would say, do you go to the doctor annually? Yes. A clean bill of health. Just keep in mind, guys, when it comes down to health, we're a medical underwriter technically. So ask those questions. Dig into the health. You don't want to pitch an IUL and they can't qualify. So just ask as many health questions. But let's say we did that. All right, Josh. So again, looking at the case, you are pretty direct. Now, before I continue, I'm just going to give my senior underwriter a real quick call. Put you on a brief hold. I'm just going to contact them to see exactly which route is best suited for you and your family. Now, guys, I'll be honest, to this day, I still do that. Like maybe not every, I'll be honest, not every single appointment, but I made it part of my spiel because first and foremost, me calling Josh as my upline, he's going to help me, A, find the proper product as a new agent because I'm not going to know where to go. I'm going to be confused. I'm going to try to pivot look at America when they may call something else. So I look at that secondary advice for A, because I'm new. But B, you want the client as well, the homeowner, to say, hey, he's actually looking around. Like he's checking his boxes, he's doing the shopping around, he is going to double check with the underwriter to make sure that, hey, they're using the best vehicle possible. And when that person does, hear you call the person and they understand you're looking for a second option, you're not desperate. You're just calling the system. They're double checking it, right? It's like a fluid mechanism in my mind. It's like a system. So I call, I'll put them on a brief hold. Now it'll call, but I do put them on a brief hold. I just wait. And I just unmute and I'll say, all right, Josh, grab a pen and paper. I have a good understanding what route we're going to go. So I want you to write down, just like you all do with leads. I do the same thing. I write down gold, silver, and bronze, like the Olympics. I looked at from Bree, one of my new agents said that. I was like, it's kind of funny. I like that one. So that's all right, gold, silver, bronze. Now, Josh, your mortgage is 350,000. I don't think you need that, but based off your age, I'll show you it because you have a child. There's gonna be college tuition. You have working years ahead of you. So your gold option would be 350,000. Your silver option or the partial payoff is what most families look towards. That is going to be 200,000. And the bottom option is going to be 150,000, and that's a partial payoff as well. Because Josh, there are three types of mortgage protection policies homeowners have when we look into this. The first type is going to be a full payoff that covers the full mortgage. That's option A for you, or gold. Now, the second is going to be a partial payoff. The third is called critical period equity protection. Now, the option I'm showing you is a full and partial payoff. That critical period is more if you're not healthy. Maybe a doctor put a record that we don't know about, and we have to kind of go on that record. That route, we'll focus there. But right now, it'll be a full or partial payoff. The reason I state that, guys, because I want them to know that full, partial, and equity rescue, they're all mortgage protection. So if he was like a 75-year-old, 65-year-old, same, everything's still the same, but not healthy, I can still tell him that why equity protection is mortgage protection, and therefore he's still willing to listen to it. And at that point in time, enough monthly mortgage payments, the whole nine. But now this, I'd say, Josh, all right, you have those written down, 350, 200, and 150.
Yes.
So that's 100%, 70% of the mortgage, and 50% pretty much. Now, guys, I'm going for an IUL at this point. Based on what you told me, an IUL is perfect fit. So I'd say the P stands for permanent coverage. That means that the policy will not expire. Now, write down the word living benefits. I'm going to explain to you, Josh, how you can utilize this insurance while living, because life insurance should be called death insurance. You can only access it when you're dead. Mortgage protection is a comprehensive program that's meant to be there while you're living and for your beneficiaries when you pass away. So first and foremost, it will never expire. Why is that important? If you refinance, move, go to a different house, it's going to follow you. It's always going to stay with you. Most importantly, man, you being this young, you're going to outlive your mortgage. You're going to have more houses. And most importantly, it's life insurance for your family. It's life insurance for your daughter and your children, life insurance for your wife to make sure when you outlive the mortgage, now it's life insurance. Two birds, one stone. All you got to do is not die and not get sick. Now, write down the word living benefit. What that means is how you can actually while living. Write down the word any heart attack, any stroke, or stage 2 cancer, aka invasive cancer. What that means is, Josh, in the event you're diagnosed with a myocardial infarction or any heart attack, any stroke, or stage 2 cancer, it must be invasive. It cannot be simple cell basal skin cancer. The insurance company will give you direct access up to 100% of your death benefit while you're living. All that means, sir, is God forbid, like I said, you have a heart attack next year, you're able to contact this insurance company and take the money from the insurance to cover your bills. Because we talked about in the beginning, if you become sick, Your savings, your active income is going to cover the medical bills and treatment. Now you're going through a hardship and it's much harder to pay the bills. This is meant for loss of income. So the living benefits are meant for replacement of income or loss of income. Because again, we're young and we're working. Now, also any heart attack, stroke, stage 2 cancer, write down the word any critical illness, any chronic illness, any terminal illness. Critical illnesses, guys, is what we just talked about. It's the heart attack, stroke, stage 2 cancer, kidney dialysis, major organ failure, ALS. Chronic illness is going to be nursing home, long-term care, Parkinson's, Alzheimer, dementia. The inability to complete 2 out of 6 activities of daily living for at least 90 days. Josh, why is that important for you, man? We're either going to die in an accident or die to a sickness. We're very low chance of living to age 121. Most common I see these policies pay out is someone gets in a car accident. They fall, they hit their head, they break their leg, they break a hip. They have to have an extended surgery, or maybe they need help taking a shower, help getting dressed. They're in a wheelchair and crutches, help walking around for 3 months, help taking a shower, help getting dressed. As long as that's documented on paper, that a doctor said for these 90 days, you need help doing 2 out of 6 ADLs, you can access that money while you're living. Does that make sense? And you'd say yes. That's the all right. And terminal illness. Terminal illness means, God forbid, you're going to die 12 months or less. You have access to the death benefit while living as well. Do you have any questions about your living benefits so far, Josh?
No, man, I think that's everything I'm kind of looking for, to be honest.
Perfect. Awesome. And lastly, death, most importantly, right? It's going to make sure in the most important time, if you're to pass away, your loved one, Alondra, is going to always house the health taken care of through a tax-free death benefit. Now, this policy has one extra feature. It's called cash value. Now, do you know what cash value is? Josh, have you heard that before in life insurance?
I've heard of it, but to be honest, I don't know what it is, man.
No worries. So again, this is for the mortgage. Keep in mind, right? This is meant to make sure, like you said, if you get sick, your family's okay. If you pass away, they're okay. But at the same time, it's going to be making money for you. Think of it like a nesting egg or a saving account. What's going to happen is every single year, as you make your monthly premium payments, a portion of the monthly premium is going to enter what I call a tax-free retirement account. What this is, it's interest the insurance company will gift you every year on an annual basis. This interest is tied to the stock market, the S&P 500. Now, the really cool thing is, Josh, unlike your 401k that goes up and down, this can only go up. It's like a staircase where if the market goes up 9%, you'll be plus 9%. If the market drops negative 15%, you're still plus 9%. Your primary investment is always protected. The interest you've gained is always protected. The insurance company eliminates your exposure to market loss or market risk. So think of buying Apple, at $10, it drops to 100, your Apple stock worth 100. Apple tanks the very same day down to negative 90, you're still plus 100. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I like that. That makes sense.
Right. And again, why is that important for you? You have a child, raising a kid, you can help pay off the mortgage early. It's going to compound interest on average around 8% every single year. That's just an average. The market performs, like I said, around 13, 12%. You look at 13, 12%. The insurance company can only under promise and over deliver. They will never over promise and under deliver. But again, why it's important, no market loss, compounding interest. You take that money in 10 to 15 years, 20 years, you can pay off your house early, save 5, 10 years of payments. You can pay college tuition, weddings, down payments for secondary house. It's up to you what to do with your money. Your money's making money for you. It's like you're doing 2 jobs and you're only working one.
Yeah, that makes sense. I like that.
Do you have any questions so far about your policy?
Not so far, man. No.
All right. And lastly, write this down. In 30 years, based on his age, guys, I just noticed in 30 years, it's 100% refund if you want to. So in 30 years, your cash value will equal what you've paid in the policy plus whatever interest you've gained. I just cannot predict the stock market. So all I'm going to say it's going to be, sir, what you paid into the policy plus a little bit of interest. I just don't know exactly the dollar amount. All I know it's exactly 100% what you've paid with some interest. Just depends on the market. That's it. I see you have any questions. He goes, no. I say, all right. And I pitch the numbers. I quote him it. And then I'd say, what meets your needs and option best. And never, guys, give numbers without explaining what it is. It's like buying a car. No one's buying a car if I don't know what color it is, what make it is, if it drives or not, heated seats, the whole nine. We get that all the time where clients say, oh, I just want to quote. To how much it costs. What is it? So you can't. It's not apple to apples. Every program is different. So keep that in mind. And I always say these programs are custom tailored for every homeowner's independent needs. That's what I say.
Guys, can we see how he's selling 50 grand in mortgage protection a month? And again, this is just reps on reps on reps, Rami. And I love that you keep it so straightforward and so simple. And dude, what I really like too is that like you're not rushing to get to the sale. Like you're not rushing to get to the price. Like you're guys, there I can't tell you how many people think PMI is mortgage protection. Like that is so gold.
Facts.
Rami, it's so gold when you're saying, like, do you know the three types of home insurance, right? And we're breaking it down. Like, guys, and I like to say these are words that really stuck with me is PMI, that's money that we're paying to protect the bank. That doesn't protect our family. Like, and it's saying stuff like that, it really hits home because it's like, dude, I really do need this. Like, you're not paying for anything that's protecting your family right now, Rami. That's why you filled out the form. That's why this is
Exactly.
important. Like, dude, I took a full page of notes and dude, it's gold. It's stuff I haven't really heard before, which I really like. And you keep it so dang simple. I think we could probably go for 2 hours, Rami, but
Probably
I'm,
good.
I'm gonna respect your time, bro. Can we rapid fire some of these questions before we
Yeah,
hop on real quick?
of course.
I'm gonna scroll up. I know Janelle had one. Let me get to it real quick. She said something like, people say like I didn't know what this was. I thought it was PNC. Like, how do you kind of combat that? Like, is that you get that too when you're calling? I'm running into people confusing this with PNC or asking if it's mandatory. That's a good question.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it's property and casualty insurance. So guys, PNC, property and casualty. Yes, I have had that before. I've had people tell me, like, hey, this is for my payment and stuff. So I de-escalate. I bring everything back down to base level. I say, no, no, no worries. This was that program that's going to pay off your house. God forbid you pass through and become sick. It's called mortgage protection. It was the video you watched on Facebook. Now, what you're confusing this with might be homeowner insurance. And I go down into breaking three types. I was like, you have homeowners, which is fire, flood, tornado. That's where property and casualty comes in. Then you have PMI, that protects the bank. That's to make sure if anything happens to you, they're able to get their money and your family's, on the short end of the stick. What we're talking about today is called mortgage protection programs. Just to make sure, again, sir, if you become sick, disabled, or passed away, that your family's protected. Now, I can ask you a very direct question, sir. In the event you had cancer today, is anything going to pay you a tax-free benefit to pay off the mortgage? And they always say no, guys. They really don't have that. And if you died today, sir, God forbid, what's going to pay off the mortgage? And then they start thinking, they start talking. And that's what I do. I make more of a conversation at that point.
I love
Educate
it.
and just ask and attack and agree.
Guys, what you'll see too, running more of these mortgage appointments, it's really education primarily the whole time. I feel like it is less of a sales process, Rami, because
I
people
agree.
genuinely don't know. Like if everybody knew what mortgage protection was, everybody I think everybody would have it, man. Because again, it's just
100%.
if it was required like car insurance, like bro, we'd be selling 200 grand a month every month because it's just
Legit.
and it's everybody should have it. Next question. What's your mindset and verbiage you use that helped you build the strong confidence where booking appointments, there's no concern for any other agent coming behind you before your booked appointment? Good question, Jordan.
Yeah, so my mindset behind the verbiage I use to help me build my confidence. So one, I'm the type of person that I have high self-efficacy. So I think anything I do, I can do to a pretty high extent or pretty high level. So I'm confident in general. I let that breathe through the phone. And my numbers, Jordan, to be honest, like I have as leads in front of me where I don't care if someone calls me before I do. I don't care if they book the appointment, they talk to 18 other brokers and 9 people try to one call close them. Because I know that once they get on the phone with me, no one's going to take, well, maybe not one, but not many are going to take their time to go through it like I will, be as thorough as I will, like Josh mentioned, to educate them and just make them understand that, hey, I am the underwriter who's been assigned to you. And I will say sometimes, Jordan, I'm a little confused. Yeah, no, if they say, hey, I have to talk to somebody else, I say, yeah, your file's still open. It looks like I'm the only underwriter who's been assigned to you. Just my job to make sure all of the programs have been properly explained to you and that you're on the best rate class possible. And when I sell somebody, I say every time, guys, I say, if anybody calls you saying my boss, they're my manager, or the file's been flagged for review by the underwriting department, call me on three-way. And let's see how long they stay on the phone for because they're lying. I'm an independent contractor with the state of Massachusetts, et cetera, whatever state I'm dialing in. So that's what I do, Jordan. I ask very straight to the point, and I don't care about, if another agent's going to call them because, Jordan, fact is, someone probably did call them before me. I don't know them getting there. They probably did. But I don't care about that. I just care about the ones who need the help, or listen to will show up to the appointment. The ones who don't need it, they don't need it, and let the numbers work for me.
Dude, and that's the biggest thing I was going to say. When you have your appointments and leads coming in like this, guys, it's not going to be an issue anyways. You know what I mean? Because they're losing out. If Rami's not able to protect them, it's like, dude, on to the next. We got the numbers behind us. And then last one, Rami, with in control the whole time. I love the cadence. When you submit applications, are you getting immediate drafts for the most part, or how do you go about the draft date? Great question, Daniel.
Yeah, my agents will tell you I'm an immediate draft only kind of guy. I do not backdate. I refuse to backdate. I don't believe I'm being very serious, guys. I'm not just joking. If a family can pay their bills, they can cover the mortgage payment. They can pay the life insurance bills. I really don't believe everybody's living paycheck to paycheck like that, unless they would not be making that request. If they are, they're not looking to add a bill. Like they know in the back of their head, this bill is going to hurt my family. The financial stress I'm going to go through is not worth filling this out. I'm not going to. So what I do, I say. All right, Josh. So, assuming approval, the first payment will come out with the application. It is day one coverage. Now, that means in 1 to 3 business days, your policy will be drafted. However, I can always change the reoccurring draft if you need it. But today, it's set for the 14th. Do you have any questions? I just go right over it. And if they say, "Oh, change this," I say, "Well, I'm so sorry, I can't." Unfortunately, the policy has to be drafted immediate as day one coverage. God forbid something happens to you tonight, that's on me. I did not do my job as your broker fiduciary to make sure that you have adequate coverage in place where if you pass away tonight, your family's protected tomorrow. And so we discussed your budget. We went through over your income. We talked about the options. You picked the partial payoff. You told me it's affordable. I don't see why we should not be able to put that in force. I'm just very blunt, guys. And I just say, right when it comes to banking, the banking industry in America, do you local credit union or major bank, they're going to tell you what they use. Checking or saving, they're going to say it. Then I'm going to say, okay, the first payment will come out with the application, and we can always move the recurring draft date if needed. And you'd be surprised, guys. I don't get many like objections there. They say, okay, that works, no problem. And it's mortgage, guys. The clientele has money. It would be weird if they didn't. How can you pay a house if you're living paycheck to paycheck? It's kind of weird.
Guys, too, it's like think about car insurance. If you've ever bought it over the phone, they never say like, "Oh, I can start it next month on the 23rd." Like they never even ask. They're like, "Okay, it's going to come out today. The first and last you're going to pay today." There's no, negotiation. So I think if
No,
we carry the same energy and the same mindset as doctor patient, like, dude, this is what it is. You know what I mean? Like you need to have this now for your family, Josh. Your wife doesn't work. This is like just pulling it back. So I love that. And Rami, dude. 100% pure value in this call, bro. I can see why you're cranking 70, 80 grand a month and your team's growing like crazy. Guys, how many people, give me one in the chat if you feel a little more comfortable getting into mortgage protection after today's call. And I know Steven had a killer call last week too. Guys, start opening up your business a little bit. Don't be a one shop, one stop pony. Like
no.
open your business, get uncomfortable. And guys, what you'll see is Rami, what's your average AP for a mortgage protection sale?
2670. Yeah, 2670. It's right above 2600. It's like close to 2700.
So,
Yeah,
guys, if we're getting that drafted right away and paid right away, it's easy to reinvest that back in our business. So, guys,
very guys.
Rami, appreciate you so much. Thank you for staying on with
Thank
us.
you, Josh. I
Hey,
appreciate you
bro.
and
And
Steven.
guys, hey, thank you for everybody that stayed on with the call, guys. Tomorrow, Dave Witcher, do not miss, guys, how he built 1, 2, 3 million. It's the fastest guy to do it. But guys, have a great day, and we will see you on the training tomorrow. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you, guys.